What? 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 Hey! What was that you was gonna say, Paimon? Something about 20... Okay, I'm back. Seriously, what the hell was that? Could have something to do with this? I don't know. Maybe, because it's a time limit. But then again, I was actually gonna do something else in this. But yeah, I was planning on doing that. But because, well, that and most of the times with that mark, they're normally voiced. Right? And basically, I'm in the part of the game where there's no voices. So I miss voices. Let's go back to voices. So back to port almost. So yeah, I've got the rest of those things over here that I gotta do. I gotta do Tanari, story quest, and now I gotta do less. Way too much going on. Seriously, I find it very off-putting. Oh wait, just let me check something, see if I can actually get that back. So please come back. Because I want to hear everything that Paimon was going to say. Because I didn't click anything. So here comes the test. Does this work? To get the voice back. Find out what she was going to say. No. I thought normally this works. Then again, do you have to close the game down? Okay, another thing I'm gonna try, because I want to actually get that. Okay, I'll be back. No, it didn't. Seriously, normally it does. Because I start something not recording, it starts talking. Paimon starts talking, so I quickly turn it off, and then when I come back, it's still there. Really? I wanted to hear that. And there's no thing to basically go through everything that was said, is there? But then again, if there is, I don't know, I could probably have lost it because what? Because turn it off and back on again. Alright, let's just get it done. But seriously? After all this trouble. It's either that or does that have something to do with the nativity scene? Because I have bought some of the figures for it. Maybe that plays a part. If that's the case, I'm doing it later. No, it's to do with the kids.
Oh, I got the same one again. When will I get the chubby, squishy one? I guess I'll just have to save up my allowance and get them all.
Huh? I thought you came here every day. Have you still not collected them all yet? You should have gotten them as a set. That way, you get 7 different designs at once.
But then there's no surprise.
True.
Surprises are boring. I want to have every design there is. That's what you do when you really love something. I finally saved up enough to buy the set today.
Oh, I'm very sorry, but the one Cassette bought was our very last carving. We're out of stock today.
Oh.
But we're working on expanding our team, so please check back tomorrow.
Fine, I'll come back tomorrow. Just so you know, R&R carvings are more than just stock.
Yeah!
All right. I'm sorry.
Sorry, buddy. Our Aranara carvings have sold out for today.
Sold out? Oh no. I was gonna buy one for my cousin who's visiting tomorrow.
Hey, how about this? You live near Bronte's house, right? We'll deliver the new carvings to you first thing tomorrow.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Fies. Don't forget, okay?
Makeshift delivery.
I promise. Akara Crafts would never let down a child.
Well, you can't run out of stock, so you kind of do.
Ah, more customers. Sorry, our Aranara carvings have... Oh, hey, it's you guys. Thank you so much for your help. We've been planning on visiting you to express our gratitude, but as you can see, our store's been really busy. If it weren't for you, the store's anniversary might have been a different story.
So this thing is following on from basically getting Carly. Yeah.
It's all thanks to Rossi. He has so much creativity at such a young age. Oh, and we would like you to have the prototype Aranara as a small token of appreciation.
Why? Because no one else wants it?
Whoa, wait. This looks kinda... right! Mind-blowing! It has a very, mysterious feel. We appreciate your thought, but please give us some time to decide if we want to keep it.
We don't want it. The kids don't want it. We don't want it.
The Aranara father owned up to his mistake and was forgiven by his Aranara son. I think everyone will like how the story goes. But the reason the father owned up to his mistake was too simple.
Perhaps we could make them go through some kind of hardship together. I'm sure they'll become more understanding of each other that way. The Aranara father will feel guilty after seeing his son work hard.
When the Aranara father starts feeling guilty, should he speak more slowly or more quickly?
That depends on the Aranara son. It would be interesting to hear them speak at different paces.
Hey, Tanja and Rosie, what you up to?
Trying to make another buck.
Dad and I are just discussing our latest story. I'll be the one telling the story this time.
Even though all the other stories were yours to begin with.
But I'm a little nervous about telling a story in front of so many people. That's why I'm asking Dad for advice.
So stage play.
Oh, Sumeru's gonna have a new young storyteller.
If it weren't for you, Rosie would surely have left me for good.
I'm so glad everything worked out. But there's still something that doesn't quite add up. Oh,
help investigating something?
Why would a monster leave a note in a tree hollow deep in the Avidia forest?
I thought we moved on from this topic. It was just a coincidence.
Really?
A lot of people write down their secrets and hide them in tree hollows. It's not a big deal at all. Okay. I have my secrets and troubles too. And I tell them the tree hollows. But seeing Arazi and Tanja has given me an idea. Traveler, could you be my tree hollow?
So you want me to tell me your worries? Huh? Wait. What? Are you kidding me? Really? Okay, now Lau, you could have easily had that on before. You did not have to wait a couple of days before doing that. Ugh. Oh well. Well, since that was too short, I'm not going to end it now. I'm going to actually do what I was going to do, which is Tanari's story. And then I can build on my keys for the remainder of these. I've got a few unlocked. I just need to actually start going through them. So, yeah. That's what I'll be doing today. Unlock. And... Huh? Really? Come on! Really? I have to finish that first. Oh wait, no, it's just this. So basically I can do this, then I can... Seriously, why do they always have to be mixed up with something else? And these two just recently showed up sometime yesterday, I think. So, yeah. Basically, I go off what I was doing because I can't do it to get this done. Way too many things that are happening, but I can't do. Okay. Wait, I just took it off, didn't I? Okay, I'll just put it back on again. And then I can go see Catherine. Okay. This. Put you on. Now let's go see her. And it's not voiced. Great. Come on. And the thing that is voiced is after this. Alright, just skip through it and then I can get to what I was. Then I can do what I have to do. Really? What? That was all I had to do, just go and talk to her. I don't get anything from it. What the hell is up with today? I'm getting through so many things which look like they're going to be long, but no, they don't. They're barely anything. Okay, at least now I can finally do this. Tanari's story. After a long time coming.
Traveler, you've come at a good time.
Wait, this sounds like another commission.
It is as you say. The commission this time around is of high importance. It pertains to the safety of the Avidia Forest's inhabitants.
Huh? What happened?
Not long ago, we received word that a section of the Avidia Forest seems to have become contaminated.
Oh.
Contaminated? You mean a new withering zone?
I don't know about the specifics, but I hear that strange things are happening to people who cross through that region. The Avidia Forest inhabitants won't leave their homes so easily. If we allow this contaminated region to expand, the consequences could be unimaginable.
Yeah, it could affect the whole region.
That's why I want to ask you to investigate the situation. Even if all you can do is stop the contamination from spreading, that will still save many people.
This is forest business. Maybe Tainari will know something. Let's go find him.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Let's go talk to Tanari. What's the pay? Ah. I don't know. Okay. Gandara first. So, is she gonna be here? Well, Colette. Whatever her name is. Okay, go! Whee! Huh. In there.
This is where you've been, Tainari? That's...
Shh! Keep your voice down.
Tainari, everything's spinning. Am I going to die? Tell Mom that I should have listened to her. And tell Suna that I'm sorry for breaking her toy. I didn't tell her because I was scared that she wouldn't play with me anymore.
You'll be fine, you're not dying.
Tainari, I heard that people turn into birds after they die. Is that true? I feel like I'm getting lighter.
What happened? Tainari, is he?
Okay, enough nonsense. You just have a small fever. Take your medication and rest. You'll be bouncing off the walls in no time.
Really? Then, can you keep the thing about the toy a secret for now?
Well, why don't you tell her?
No can do. You're a big kid now. Once you've recovered, go and apologize. keeping secrets to yourself won't solve anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, let me ask you something. I recall that you're usually pretty healthy. How did you get this sick all of a sudden?
I don't know either. Mom's been telling me not to play in the forest. I just wanted to look inside. It's different from before. I got lost and went around in a huge circle. After I got out, I started feeling dizzy.
Could it be?
So that's how this whole mess happened. Anyway, go rest. No running around until I say so, got it? Traveler, Paimon, let's step out for now.
Mr. Forest Watcher, how is my son?
I gave him some antipyretics. Let him rest here for a while. I told him that he would feel better after some medicine and rest, but I only said that to comfort him. His symptoms resemble a fever, but something else is causing them. They seem more akin to a disruption in his psyche. Antipyretics won't be of much use.
What do we do? Mr. Forest Watcher, you have to help him.
If memory serves, a plant called Vasanti grass can help soothe the mind. A small number grow in arid deserts. They usually look like shriveled weeds, but can be revitalized with a splash of water. They're expensive and unable to grow in the Avidya forest's climate, so I don't have any on hand. I'll ask the caravans. Go find Kale, have her prepare medicinal tools and a set of traveling gear for me.
All right. Thank you.
Contaminated region, huh? Is that why you two are also here?
Yeah.
Yep. Is it a new withering zone?
Doesn't seem like one. Whether you look at scale, internal conditions, or resultant effects, they're completely different. The only thing they have in common is that they aren't welcome. This nuisance made itself home in the Avidya forest, so I can't turn a blind eye.
We feel the same way.
All right. Let's contact the caravans first and purchase some Vasanti grass. We can also ask about the contaminated region. There's no time to waste. We have to move quickly. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, where to now? Over here. As I always say, you go up everywhere. Is there ever going to be a mission where you don't have to go up? Okay. Wait, can I just... Yeah, what am I doing? I can just warp there. Make it quicker. I already waited enough time already at the beginning of this. By doing some things that weren't things. They were just tail end stuff. Which... they didn't show up right away.
Excuse me, I'd like to purchase some Vasanti grass. Do you have any?
I'm sorry, Mr. Forest Watcher, but we've been closed for the past few days.
Closed? Now that's odd. It's my first time hearing you say something like that.
It's a long story. Some of our goods were stolen recently.
Ooh. Well, that's probably why you closed. That... if you'd been closed, they wouldn't get stolen, right?
They were mechanical parts that we got from the academia. Although they're old models, they still fetch a good price on the market. Our caravans had to pull together Mora to afford those parts. Now that they've been lost, we'll likely come up short this trip. All the merchants talked it over, and we decided to raise the prices of our remaining inventory. Until this plan takes effect, none of us can privately sell anything.
I don't get it. If these goods are so important, then why not think of a way to get them back? Raising prices won't solve anything. At best, you're shoving the consequences of the robbery onto your customers.
Yeah.
Mr. Forest Watcher, it's not that we don't want to. It's just the thief disappeared into the deepest parts of the forest. We asked around, and apparently the forest has been very unusual as of late. Anyone who goes in experiences mental anomalies. We can't keep waiting out here for the thief to come out. All we could do is come up with another solution.
So the bandit hid in the contaminated region after stealing those mechanical parts. How many people were there in total? Were they not affected by the contaminated region?
Or they are, but as soon as they're in there.
That crook came from the contaminated region. As for how many, there weren't any people.
Oh.
No people?
Even if I tell you, you might not believe me. Fine. The thief that stole our parts was a huge mechanical crab.
What?
What the heck? The Avidia Forest has creatures like that?
To be honest, I'd rather not think about it. It moved too skillfully to be new at this. It came out of nowhere. Before we could react, it swiped our goods and ran away. We were all shocked. By the time we came to our senses, the thief was already long gone.
I see. If we help you retrieve your stolen goods, then business will return to normal?
Oh, but of course! Not only that, but you'll become one of our caravan's VIPs on all future purchases of any...
Enough. Tell me something that's actually useful. Any leads on that mechanical crab?
Yeah, which way did they go?
Maybe one. After our goods were stolen, we specifically got someone to assess the situation. If you're interested, you can go and talk to them.
All right. We'll go and have a word.
Okay. Oh, 3 people. You?
After the goods were stolen, I made multiple inquiries with nearby caravans and residents. It turns out that many others have also been robbed by that crooked crab. However, the crab only seems to be interested in machinery. It doesn't even bat an eye at other valuables. A caravan carrying a large amount of mora had an uneventful trip, but another caravan had a child whose metal toy was taken. Whatever the case, that thing is a scourge. We'll eventually think of a way to get rid of it.
I heard from the caravanners that there have been a lot of robberies lately, but we haven't been affected. We don't normally see the mechanical crab, and it doesn't disturb our daily lives. It only shows up when the caravans are here, and it runs back to the contaminated region after it's done making a mess.
You haven't tried capturing it?
We have, but it's too agile and fast. However, we did unexpectedly learn something the last time we tried to capture it. It apparently lives in the deepest part of the forest, so instead of immediately moving its spoils, it first hides them nearby. Once its stash grows large enough, it moves everything in one go. You'll have to move fast if you want those goods back.
And what else is stolen as well? Okay, that's one. And oh yeah, do not say it has anything to do with that big giant now I saw in the wood, in the forest.
That mechanical crab is fast, strong, and a pain to deal with. 10 of us might not even be able to take that thing head on. Didn't the academia ban research on mechanical life forms years ago? Where did that thing come from? Our salaries even got slashed because of it. Who would have thought that that robber wasn't a human, but a mechanical crab? This is rough.
That wasn't much.
Sure things! Did you make any progress?
No.
We learned of its behaviors, but much still remains unclear. Assuming normal operational status, mechanical constructs generally act according to their given commands. If I were its owner, I'd command it to steal more valuable things. Or the mora you made. That would be the most efficient method. But it only goes after mechanical components. This doesn't make any sense.
Right. It's really weird.
So, you all found a way to retrieve our goods?
Do you have any more mechanical parts with you?
Yes, I still have a small bag of samples. They weren't taken since I keep them on me at all times.
We're gonna let them get stolen.
Oh, are you planning to...
Yeah. Bait.
Under constant external conditions, organisms rarely initiate changes in their habits. Here's what we know so far. It has a mechanical composition, it lives in the contaminated region, and it comes out to steal mechanical components. If we have said components, we can lure it out, capture it, and then make observations for further conclusions. Well, chatting like this won't get us anywhere. We're only wasting time.
You're right. We don't have any other options right now. This bag of samples is all yours, Mr. Forest Watcher. If you can get our goods back, the caravans will reward you generously.
We don't need anything in return, but I'll be keeping this bag. I may have other uses for it later.
You can have what's inside, but I just want the bag.
We'll also need to borrow a sumpter beast. Our act has to be convincing if we want the crab to fall for it.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all. If it means getting our things back, you can even borrow me to do whatever you need.
No. We don't need a human.
I'll have to decline that offer. Anyway, we'll use the mechanical components and sumpter beast to pose as a transiting caravan and lure out the crab. Once it appears, capture it. I leave the timing to you.
Don't worry, we're professionals.
We got this. Okay, now... Aww. Why can't I just ride the beast? It'll be a lot more fun. Fine. I'll go. I'll get it. Don't you worry. And...
I will not go quietly.
Hey.
Looking at the trade routes and the contaminated region's current perimeter, the goods were likely stolen somewhere around here.
Wait, so did I die? I thought basically dropping into a cutscene wouldn't. But then again, the cutscenes do still... You can still die within a cutscene, so... it didn't let me save myself.
Then let's get to it. We'll definitely capture that criminal crab.
Okay. We'll start from here and have the sumpter beast with the components on board lead the way. This sumpter beast isn't familiar with us yet, so be calm and take your time with it.
The sumpter beast went ahead. Let's keep up with it.
That sucks. Well, I can grab this. Mine. Oh, there's more.
Why did it stop?
Oh, feeding den.
Looks like it's loafing around. Or maybe it's hungry.
Feeding them.
The caravanners grew disheartened after their goods were stolen, so they probably didn't feed their animals as scheduled. Let's give it something to eat.
Let's go.
All right, it's moving again.
Well, quicker this time. You got a full belly. Wait. Those crabs.
Ah! Is that the mechanical crab the caravan was talking about? It's charging straight at us!
It looks strong. Be careful.
You look strong, and I'm here to kick its butt.
Propagate!
Ow.
Motion to compel.
And go. Keep at it. Keep burning. Just keep making it go around in circles.
Scatter!
Aww. Burning it more.
Incoming. Inadmissible evidence.
Propagate!
Hey, no. No running.
Just try to escape this time, you naughty caravan robbing crab! Hey, playing dumb won't save you. Spill it! Why are you stealing so many mechanical parts?
It doesn't seem to understand.
It doesn't seem capable of comprehending complex questions. Keep an eye on it. I'll search around the area for the caravan's goods. I don't know why you're stealing mechanical parts, but they don't belong to you. Stolen items must be returned to their rightful owners. Any objections? You came from the depths of the contaminated region, right? How about you help us with something? If you take us there, I'll give you some mechanical parts as a reward.
What, really?
It reacted!
We can't be certain yet. Its excitement may be a simple programmed response upon seeing mechanical components.
Boy, I already saw him. It was in it. You said it. When you said it would get him, then it picked up.
Okay, so you want the crab to lead us into the contaminated region?
That's right. The contaminated region has a large and currently expanding perimeter, so it would be difficult to conduct a thorough search. If we charge straight in, we'll get lost like headless pigeons. Also, our new friend here seems to be full of secrets. I've been studying this contaminated region recently, and I have a hypothesis of my own. So to be absolutely safe, it would be best to have a guide lead the way.
Okay.
Paimon gets it now. Does this scuttler understand what you're saying?
It doesn't have to, as long as it isn't hostile towards us.
Anymore.
I gave it some components that it will definitely take back to the contaminated region. So long as it doesn't attack us, we can simply follow along.
Okay, follow me.
It seems to be really happy.
Listen to me. Wait for us here. No running off. We'll be back soon. If you're still here when we return, I'll give you another mechanical part as a reward. Understood?
True yet. It works. Okay, I'll wait.
I'm not sure, but our priorities are to retrieve the mechanical components and to purchase Vasanti grass to make medicine with. We should return, but before we do, we need to set up a few traps. Can't have that crab escaping.
Why, you bribed him already. He'll stay put. He wants more parts.
Scatter!
Okay. Back to the caravan. And then I can go from here. Yeah. Straight back to it. We have a new pet. You want it?
Oh! Oh! These are the mechanical parts that were stolen! You really got them back for us! Ah, thank you all so very much. I don't know how I can repay you. Wait, didn't you want to purchase Vasanti grass?
Yeah, we also want those too.
Don't worry about the price. They're on the house. How many do you need?
Your whole batch.
2 is enough.
No, that won't do. Here, I'll throw in some more.
No need. I've already received a reward from you.
Reward? You mean that bag of mechanical parts? They aren't worth much compared to this merchandise.
But those parts are very useful to me. Just like the Vasanti grass. I retrieved the things you needed, and you gave me what I needed in return. We're even. Oh, and before we go, just a reminder, the forest has an intricate and biodiverse ecosystem. Even if there were no mechanical crabs, other dangers are still present. Take caution on this route.
Noted. Thank you all ever so much.
Let's return to the village. The earlier we can give the child medicine, the sooner he'll start feeling better.
So we'll get the medicine, then we come back. Okay, so back to the village. Back to Gandhara. And that's step 1. And step 2 will be... yeah. When we get to the bottom of this. Okay. Whee! And... whee! Oh! Good thing fully healed now. Oh, when did that happen?
Oh! Hi there, Traveler and Paimon. Master, I prepared the pharmaceutical equipment. Do you need me to help grind the medicine?
No need. A precise dosage is required this time, so I'll do it myself.
Oh.
Aww.
Okay.
Still making it feel down.
But once I'm done, you can deliver the medication to the child. He gets a little nervous when I'm around for too long. I don't think he finds me very approachable. I'll go prepare the medication. Traveler, give me a hand.
Maybe he hates guys but likes the ladies.
How is he? Doing any better?
I feel like he's doing a lot better, and his temperature is returning to normal.
That's wonderful!
Oh yeah, he asked me to tell you that Suna came by earlier, and he told her everything about the toy. Suna didn't get mad, so he wanted to thank you. Can I ask what happened?
He was spilling his guts when he thought he was on his deathbed. So... yeah.
It's nothing. Did you prepare the traveling gear I asked you to?
Of course I did. Are you going somewhere far away?
Yes, we're going to the contaminated region. Judging by its size, we will likely have to stay overnight. I'm leaving everything to you while I'm gone.
Huh? But I can't even begin to compare to you.
Too much pressure.
Many things are learned by doing. And once they've been done, you'll realize they weren't as difficult as you once thought they were. Deal with problems as you yourself see fit. You don't have to emulate me.
That's right! You'll do great, Kale.
All right, then I'll do my best. Master, Traveler, Paimon, take care of yourselves.
We'll be all right. You'll understand the reason for this excursion once we arrive at the contaminated region. You put too much confidence in me. Anyway, like you said, things will likely be uneventful. Let's return and find that crab.
Well, he wants his treat. He wants mechanical parts. So he would stay to get mechanical parts. Won't he? Just wait. And is he still here? Yep. Yep, he's still here. He's a good boy.
We're here. This should be... Huh? Where's the crab?
Wait, was it just round the tree?
Did it secretly scuttle away?
The traps weren't triggered, so it should still be here. Odd.
He was waiting. Ready to go?
You honored our agreement and waited here until we returned. As such, I'll hold up my end and give you another mechanical part. Keep it safe. I'm not giving you another one if you lose it. Glad you're satisfied. If you want more mechanical parts, take us deeper into the contaminated region. I want to see what happened there. What caused the Avidya forest to become like this?
Oh, we're not following again. You only had a small bit of following.
So this is the contaminated region that everyone's been talking about. Oh, it definitely looks different from normal. It's like really creepy and suffocating.
Do you feel unwell at all? Good. It's as I predicted. Elemental power confers a degree of resistance against the contaminated region's influence.
Oh yeah, basically, you need a vision to be fine.
How do you know that?
I haven't entered the contaminated region for a proper investigation, but I've conducted quite a few controlled experiments. My observations during our time here have all but confirmed my hypothesis. Look at these flowers. How are they different from normal? This flower species is formally known as the Sumeru rose, but it is also known as the ley line lodestar.
Ooh.
They're sensitive to ley lines and emit varying amounts of light in response. Excessive brightness indicates a dangerous level of ley line activity in the surrounding area.
Ah.
From the looks of things, the ley lines around here are already out of control.
You're saying the contamination here is coming from ley lines?
I can't confirm that right now, but I think that is the case.
Do you think the crab's getting a bit impatient?
Let's take another look around and see if we can discover more clues.
Well, I'll pick it up first. Please do pick up all the stuff.
You know, we haven't seen any animals this entire time. The birds used to chirp really loudly, and there were a lot of foxes.
This contaminated region currently appears to have a critical efflux of ley line energy, which is probably the root cause of the patient's cognitive disturbances. Some animals have keen awareness. They sensed something abnormal in this area and fled.
Leaky ley lines sure can cause a lot of damage, huh?
Like how plants have preferred growth conditions, we also gradually habituate to our surrounding environment. Climate, temperature, humidity, intensity of ley line energies, when people live under fixed conditions, they reach a sort of homeostasis with their environment. This equilibrium is broken when the surrounding environment abruptly changes, causing people's bodies to react in abnormal ways.
Like the key.
If normal fluctuations in temperature occur, then our bodies automatically adjust. However, the average person cannot adapt to changes in ley line energy, and so they fall ill.
Then why are we okay?
I'm not sure why you are, but she and I are fine because our elemental capabilities allow us to adapt to this kind of change.
Yeah, Paimon's got some elemental powers. Basically, it's space, isn't it? Because, as I said, we already know about that. We were told about it. But it's not one of the 7 on this planet.
Of course, it's not a good idea to spend too much time in areas with concentrated ley line energy. The only one who can freely traverse this place is probably the mechanical crab.
Grabbo! What we?
That's about it for the investigation. Help me find an open space. I want to test something.
Okay, where we going? Oh, down. There's more to pick up.
Environment, no wind. Target parameters, normal. Setup complete. Excellent. Looks like it's working.
What's this?
A purification device that I made. It can absorb excess ley line energy and temporarily stabilize an area.
Temporarily?
What a neat thing! Let's set up more and cover the entire region!
I wouldn't mind if that would actually work. Unfortunately, once this contamination is present, it isn't something that a few purification devices can fix. The purification devices have their limits. At best, they can only prevent the contaminated region from expanding temporarily. If we want to permanently eradicate the contamination from the ley line effluents, we'll need to tackle the source. That's right.
Uh-oh. Defense!
Huh? The mechanical crab is acting a little strange.
It's in defensive stance.
Something's approaching. So that's it. Now that the ley line energy has stabilized, the monsters that had left are starting to return. Get rid of them quickly. Don't let them get close to the purification device.
Okay. And zap. Done.
Whew. That's all of them.
It was only 2. Oh, his friends?
Hey! Where are you? Wait for us! Let's hurry and keep up. The mechanical crab went that way! Let's keep up.
Help!
I can't
Help!
So someone's in trouble. Okay.
Incinerate!
Right.
Nowhere to hide.
Hang on. Okay, keep going.
Don't blink! Hey!
Hang on.
Boom boom! Time for your arraignment! Speed of light!
Okay, almost there. Right, there goes one.
Incoming!
Here comes
Incinerate!
There.
Ah! Spare me! Please spare me!
Hey, are you okay?
These injuries are superficial. Don't move, I'll patch you up.
Superficial.
Who are you all? What happened to those mechanical monsters?
Dealt with.
Don't worry, we took care of them.
Oh, good. That's good. It's a monster! Hurry, attack it!
No, he's on our side.
How do we explain this? Krabby here isn't a bad guy. It heard you shouting for help and brought us here to rescue you.
It's faking it. It has to be. Maybe it's gonna partner up with the other mechanical monsters and kill me.
Then you go away then.
Do you know what's inside the forest? It's all crawling with mechanical freaks. I just came here to pick herbs, but I accidentally went into the contaminated region and almost died. I gotta get out of here. Ah, yes. Yes. I have to escape. Be careful. These mechanical life forms are up to no good. It'd be best if you stayed far, far away from them. No wonder the Academia wanted to completely ban the existence of mechanical life forms. Those things should be annihilated.
Are you okay?
No, I don't think so.
His inarticulate speech and bodily tremors indicate psyche disruption. He's been inside the contaminated region for too long. We've purified the ley line energy over there. Follow this path out and you'll soon see the village.
And there he goes running. Yeah, next thing we hear is him screaming being attacked by monsters.
At that point, someone will bring him to Kale for help. I already prepared medication that will return him to normal. So you think you did a good job and want a part as your reward?
Yeah, please.
It's so hard to understand.
Alright, regardless of what you're thinking, you did some real good this time. That's why I'll give you another mechanical part. Need any help with it? Guess not. Well, make sure to hang on to it. What was going through your owner's mind when he made you, I wonder? You're like a giant mechanical crab on the outside and a fluffy little hamster on the inside.
A child on the inside.
And also, how do you feel about that person saying that you're as evil as the other mechanical life forms?
Okay, it definitely doesn't understand you.
It seems like it possesses limited understanding only towards matters related to mechanical components. Help others to get parts. That's probably its thought process. As for why it, or rather its owner, is collecting so many components, I'm not sure. It's getting late, so let's set up camp for the night. We'll explore further tomorrow. After...
Ah. Okay, up here. Ah, wrong. Me. Done.
Hey, over here!
I know, I'm coming.
Come on, you big lummox. Raise your head and look up.
Really, Tanari? I was coming. Keep your pants on, for God's sake.
Let's set up camp here.
Alright, Paimon also thinks it's a good spot.
Oh. Any particular reason?
This place is perfect to put up a big tent. We can also set up a cooking pot and cook tons of delicious food.
You just want food.
You're not wrong, but the primary reason for choosing this place is because its higher elevation keeps us away from the water vapor below. Rainforests are very wet. You should always be careful when spending the night in damp places. For the next tasks at hand, let's divide and conquer. I'll set up the tent, you'll be in charge of making the fire, and Paimon will forage for edibles nearby.
Leave it to Paimon. Paimon's a pro.
I'm not expecting that much. Just do what you can.
She's a pro at eating, not finding food.
That's right. You can use rushes to start a fire in the wilderness. Their piths are relatively dry and can be readily set aflame. The downside is that they produce a lot of smoke.
Traveler, Tainari, Paimon couldn't find any food. Paimon didn't know that rainforest had so many interesting plants until we came here. They were all sort of weird-looking mushrooms, but Paimon didn't know which ones were edible. Paimon also saw wild berries on the ground, and Paimon was gonna fly over and pick them up, but the dead leaves on top suddenly started moving. It freaked Paimon out.
Those were probably dead leaf butterflies. They camouflage as dead leaves to evade predators. My guess is that they mistook you for a bird when you flew over, so they fled. Little did they know that you were more scared than they were. Never mind. The tent's up, so you two go rest. I'll forage for food.
Oh, he brought us food.
Oh, you found some already.
Hey!
Hey, you can't blame it, it's true.
Paimon understands it this time. It wants mechanical parts again.
Sorry, no part this time.
What? No!
That task wasn't important enough. If every little thing resulted in a reward, then it might start to take advantage of the system. I'll note little things like this and give a cumulative reward at a later time. That is one reason.
Oh, he's moping. He's sulking now.
It looks really sad.
After some further thought, it might come up with some weird misunderstanding if I don't give it something. All right, here's another for you.
Yay!
I'm off to prepare dinner. We'll take shifts on lookout duty tonight. You two can sleep first. I'll wake you up later.
We need lookouts?
Yes. Even though most animals fled because of the ley lines, we can't completely let down our guard. It's settled then. I'll set up some pest-repelling devices so poisonous insects don't come crawling into the tent. Have a good night. Not too good, though.
What do you mean? Wow, we actually get to rest.
Paimon's getting sleepy. Is this because of the ley lines? It's been a while since we camped outside like this. This is like when we just started adventuring together. Nighty-night.
And you're still floating.
You're awake earlier than I expected. Did you sleep well? That's good. I was worried that you two wouldn't be able to sleep, so I specially used 2 of my homemade incenses. Don't worry. They're made from all natural ingredients. They have a light fragrance and aren't harmful to the body. Speaking of which, have you seen the crab? It was scampering around over there just now, but I don't know where it went.
Well, I was asleep. How could I know?
So you can tell. My suspicion is less towards the crab and more directed to its unrevealed owner. A ley line effluence of this magnitude occurred without any warning. Someone probably disrupted the natural flow of the ley lines. Until we fully understand the situation, take extra caution. The academia has banned mechanical lifeform research for years, so the origin of these creatures is very suspect. Topics related to mechanical lifeforms were popular in the Spontama for a time. Some of my juniors had also thrown themselves into such research. They proposed an intriguing idea. Use our knowledge to create a new and practical lifeform that could help humanity conquer nature.
Well, the field tillers are already doing that, and they're, I don't know, more harm than good.
However, no matter which modules or parts are installed, a machine is innately a construct that receives and executes commands. They can never possess self-awareness like us or other living organisms. In their pursuit to discover the differences between mechanical and biological life forms, zealous researchers performed unregulated vivisections and other absurdly cruel experiments on animals. Research on mechanical life forms was thus banned. The irony is that the researchers became even more impetuous afterward. Who knows? Maybe this subject will be unbanned in a few years. That's a difficult question to answer.
What, do you like it or not? That's a simple question.
I'm interested in the topic of mechanical life, but I don't like the researchers' attitudes. It's just my personal opinion. My ancestors and the Valuka Shuna of the desert coexisted together and supported one another. The blood of my people were born from this symbiotic relationship. So to me, all life is important. To understand life, you must first respect it. Life is not an expendable commodity, and knowledge should not be wielded like a scepter. These are the points of contention I have with some researchers, and why I left the academia. By placing yourself above other life forms, what kind of results do you expect to get from researching pure life with impure intentions? Really? Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, he's back.
Coffee? Did you prepare this for us? All right. Seeing that you're working so hard to help out, I'll give you another part. You're not planning on using it. Many of your own parts are critically degraded, and you're running low on power. All right. Suit yourself. Oh, and thanks for the coffee, but I'm about to go to sleep. Leave it with her. The night watch is yours. Stay safe.
Sorry. Paimon slept through the entire night.
Punishment solo watch duty.
Don't worry. Paimon will be sure to stay awake next time.
I bet yeah, Paimon doesn't sleep next time.
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon. Quick question. Do you feel off at all? Me too. The farther in we go, the closer we get to the source of the ley line effluence. We'll be heading out earlier today. I'll take down the tent.
Is there something we can do?
Extinguish our fire so we don't set the entire forest aflame. Also, retrieve the pest-repelling devices from last night. We don't want to affect the ecosystem here.
Got it! Paimon will take care of the fire.
All right. Let's meet back here later.
Why? It's just right here.
All right, it's about time to head out. As we go further in, we may encounter more berserk machines. The effects of the ley lines will also increase. If you're struggling, it would be wise to avoid conflict. Try to conserve as much energy as possible until we reach the source of the contamination.
So what? No fighting at all? Just keep running? What, am I going up? Nope, I'm going down. Boing.
As I thought, the closer we get to the contamination source, the more mechanical monsters that appear.
So, I can fight him? Actually, no. I'm gonna run. Running!
One step back, two forward. Speed of light.
Oh, white iron! There's white iron. The more white iron I can get, the more stronger I can make my weapon. Wait. I thought you said we had to... So what, I have to fight him?
Don't blink.
I thought you said that
With
we weren't
sword
gonna
comes
fight.
shadow.
That's misleading.
Speed of light. Germinate.
Go.
Motion to compel. Keep within the law. Inadmissible evidence.
What's missing?
I
No!
object.
Again. I hate you.
Propagate.
Get him from behind. Ow. No. Stop it.
Incoming.
Get him.
Scatter.
Get him. Take him out. I got this. We got this. Annihilate him.
Hey! I will not go quietly.
Ah, stupid underwater. Electric wall. That's what killed me.
Scatter!
Hey! Get back here. Die already. Oh, I've got you now.
Scatter!
Go back off. Come on.
Scatter!
Go. Going.
Maybe I wasn't meant for this world.
Losing.
I'll uproot you. Can't see.
Come on, keep going. Multiple shots. I say multiple shots.
Keep up.
Don't blink. Right idea.
Come on.
Wrong time.
How could you get me? Okay, just keep going. Alright, he's not dead yet.
I hear everything.
I kill you all. His weak point for maximum damage.
One with the forest.
Go. Keep going. Weak point for maximum damage. Well, it's not really working. Break it. Go. Okay, how much damage have we got left? Wait, is he dead? Hooray, I killed someone. Oh, he's almost dead already.
I'll uproot you.
Come on, go. No. Ah, finally done it. Okay, yeah. Grab this. I do need to heal, but I'm in no condition to heal, especially because I just revived. I would like it if there was actually a full, like a party revive. But they might put one in later. I don't know at the moment. Yeah, but it would be good if they did. Okay, next one.
It stopped here!
Upon closer inspection, the plants here are really different. Leyline energies are also stronger here. This may be the place we've been looking for. Ready yourselves. We're going in.
I'll try. 25 seconds. Oh, and it's a dungeon. Could I actually go in here and actually get fully healed? Please. My party's too low. Yeah. Or is it just Tanari? It'll be fine. Actually, no, because Tanari's already with me. I might get him anyway, so...
Wish me luck.
Yeah, basically, I only increased by 20. Well, at least I got my healer. Okay, and... yeah, so I already have him, so I did good. And no, everyone isn't healed. Does kind of suck. A little bit of healing, that's all I can do. For now.
There's a ton of mechanical monsters here. They made this place their lair.
Looks like there's no way to sneak by. Let's take care of them quickly.
That's basically what you've been making me do the whole time. Go.
Incinerate!
Destroy.
Motion to compel.
No.
But my defense was watertight.
You. That's a no-no. Really? Both of you?
Cut to the chase. From the law.
No.
Has...
Oh, no. I hate you. Well, not fun.
Speed of light. Hey!
Okay, down. Take him.
Don't blink.
No. Really? Was it that thing? Ow. Come on, just keep going. Take one all slowly, but you can still take him out. Okay, again.
Let the show begin.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one. One day. Do I just wait or... weak point. Okay. Now I can go further in. 70 seconds. Wait, am I at the heart of it already? What's going on?
What is this?
Leyline energy is spilling out from here. This device, it's extracting energy from the ley lines without end. Who in the world would do this without considering the consequences? The ley lines won't be able to repair themselves if their flow is perpetually disrupted like this.
That's terrible! We have to stop it! Paimon
standing here is equivalent to being directly showered in ley line energy, which may cause irreversible damage to your body.
So there's basically a leak in it. That's why.
Take Paimon and get out of here. I'll see if I can find a way to turn this thing off.
Wait, you're also vulnerable to the ley lines, right? We're staying. We can't leave you here by yourself.
Yeah. We're in this together.
Then let's look for it together. If there is no control unit here, then there must be a trapdoor somewhere.
Oh, Krabby!
You know where it is? Hey, wait for us!
Thank you, Krabby. Okay, more.
Ready, steady, go!
Okay, almost there with everything. Ow, there's a box chest. Give me.
What's this? It'll only show up if you step on it?
Be careful and watch your step.
Someone lives here. Guy passed out. Oh, guy sleeping.
Someone's here! Are you the one that's taking the ley line's energy? Turn off that machine now! Why aren't you saying anything? Too ashamed?
He's sleeping!
His body is cold.
Oh.
It's emaciated, and his eyes are sunken, likely from chronic malnourishment and stress. He collapsed and never got back up. What exactly happened here? Almost forgot about you. Here, this is the last one.
What is it doing?
I'm not sure. Judging by this room's layout, this place was a laboratory. We should find a repository of research documents if we keep going.
Oh, it looks like he's getting mechanical parts to try and fix the machine.
The file room will definitely give us some clues, so let's go take a look. Maybe we can piece together what happened here.
Which is kind of what I thought would happen anyway. That's why it's only mechanical parts. Yeah, he's putting them as a machine, see if they can make it work again. Okay, finally have everybody up.
Wow! It's huge in here!
This place is a natural hiding spot with how hidden it is. The pipes continue further. Let's head in.
Okay, that's where I'm going. But then again, I'll probably be going up, won't I? Someone didn't like a bridge. Yep. Someone didn't like a bridge.
Propagate!
Okay, I'll do lists. Okay, it looks like I'm going to be going on further.
Did you two find anything?
There are a lot of lab notes, but it would take way too long to read through them all. I found a tape recording used for an experiment, and based on its serial number, it's from 2 years ago.
Tape recording?
Yes, the Spontama created a device that visually records experiments and consolidates the final production into a tape. However, these devices are expensive to make and aren't entirely stable. That's why they are only used in some laboratories and do not see wider usage.
Come on, let's watch it.
Hold on, let me figure out how to play the tape. Goes there. Ah, okay, this should do it.
Movie time.
Kakata? Kakata? Seriously, I look away for 1 second and you're gone?
Oh, that's his name.
There you are. Look here. This is our new home. I, Abatui, will unleash my talents here and amaze those ancient fossils at the Academia. Oh, you're also quite happy. Kakata, do you know what we're about to do? Yes, I thought not. Listen up, Kakata. I'm going to make a mechanical life form that can be mass-produced. The technology will be unlike anything else that exists. I'll use mechanical organs, and electric currents will course through them like blood. A steel-cast heart that will beat forever, and a brain of myriad components that can think like mine. Inspiration from the ruins and the research that the Academia had banned. I hope everything can start anew from this place. When you can understand our language and live among us, you will no longer be a boring machine, but a truly living being. It's fine. You will understand. One day, you will understand me.
Oh.
Karkata is the mechanical crab, right? And that researcher named Abatui said he wanted to prove something to the Academia?
I remember now. I had a junior researcher named Abatui. He was expelled from the Academia for researching mechanical life forms.
Junior researcher?
Yeah? What's wrong?
Nothing. Paimon was just wondering, doesn't Abatui look older than you?
He is, but academic progression isn't tied to age. I finished my studies a while ago, so subsequent students generally considered me as their senior.
Oh.
Of course, age can be an issue. For a while, people always dragged me into pictures. I felt like some kind of animal on display. That isn't important. Let's go and see if we can find other tape recordings.
Okay, so... Oh. We're going this way, not up. Or maybe we'll go up afterwards. This place stops here.
Look! Paimon found another tape! A date is written on it. Let Paimon see. Oh, it's from half a year ago!
That's quite the time gap. I wonder what happened in between.
It's rare that you malfunction because of an operational error. Seems that making coffee is still somewhat difficult for you. Or is there an issue with my set parameters? All right, there you go. Water entered the chela and caused it to short circuit, so it couldn't receive signals from the ganglion. Look at me, talking to you like this. You can't understand me anyway, can you? It's fine. I swapped in some new parts, so you should be all right now. Try moving around. Everything in working order?
Well, he's understanding you now.
Be more careful next time. We're tight on money right now, so we don't have a lot of parts or power to spare. I'm glad. Karkata, did you know? Yesterday, I dreamed that you could talk. Aren't the bunch at the Academia always saying things like, mechanical intelligence is just an extension of statistics? They were blown away when they saw us talking with each other. Too bad it was just a dream. Forget holding a conversation with me. You're so simple that you probably wouldn't even notice if I died. Never mind. I should probably be worrying about next month's power.
After Abatui left the Academia, everyone lost contact with him. I thought he was so despondent that he gave up on researching mechanical life forms. Instead, he had holed up here and continued his experiments.
Paimon doesn't feel like he's a bad person. He even changed out Karkata's broken parts. Why would he mess with ley lines?
Let's keep looking around.
Okay, what else can we find? Wait, I thought we were... Really? Oh. Oh, so we went there and then it just walked me here, then... Yeah, so basically there's probably where you play it, so...
Following the serial numbers, the next recording should be here. The writing is sloppy. Perhaps his state of mind had changed. There's also an undated tape in the wrong spot. Doesn't seem like Abatui put it there.
Maybe Karkata helped him with sorting.
It's hard to say. These are the last 2 tape recordings. Let's watch them.
Yeah, both.
Sorry, Karkata. I was just thinking about something. Today might become a special day. In my recent experiments, I successfully gave you a living being's instincts. When you're low on power, or if one of your parts is damaged, you will prioritize your survival command and proactively recharge or replace your parts. That is a very dangerous thing. And today, I did something even more dangerous. I've officially activated the 3rd generation ley line extractor. The ley lines will serve as our power source from now on. Conducting research on mechanical life forms requires a large amount of power. Even if I scrimped and saved, the more I have wouldn't last for long. I'm also getting tired, Karkata. I don't know what's driving me to continue with this research anymore. They say that even if it simulates the operation of a living creature's organs, a machine is still an ice-cold tool. I want to prove them wrong. I want to turn you into a living, breathing, and talking being. I'm not talking about anything cheerful, Karkata. Modules for language, emotion, and movement. I've been working my absolute hardest to augment and refine your functionalities, but I've never seen an effective response.
Are you sure?
You are my finest success, but even you can't understand me. All you can do is execute limited responses based on preset commands or keywords. Karkata, I wish you could speak to me, even just once. Yes, you cannot understand me, so you cannot answer me either.
But he is answering you.
It is what it is. In a few days, I'll sell the failed ley line extractor for some more and continue my experiments. Life goes on, and I have to as well. I don't have any other choice. This is new. If I place another 2 control modules here to simulate the brain's thalamus... Of course my heart decides to act up now. Why did I cut medication from our expenses? Karkata, come help me. Strange. I feel weak. Oh no, I have to shut down the extractor. Shut it off. If we let them recharge indefinitely, they'll go out of control. Right. I never input a command to shut down the extractor, so you don't understand what I'm saying. In the end, it's just like the academia said. Mechanical life forms only bring danger. My research... Was there any point to it at all? I'm sorry, Karkata. In the end, I still wasn't able to turn you into a true mechanical life form.
Oh,
I see. So the ley line effluence was an accident. After Abatui's unexpected death, the mechanical monsters were driven by their instincts and continuously drew out power from the ley line extractor. This eventually resulted in severe damage to the ley lines.
Paimon understands. Then why didn't Karkata go haywire like the other machines?
Because Karkata is different from the other machines. Structures similar to living organisms, the ability to cry and laugh, and capacity for independent thought. To Abatui, only a machine with these features could be considered a mechanical life form. Perhaps only by building such a machine could he have the academia acknowledge his protracted research. But if he had slowed down and saw Karkata as a friend instead of an experimental product, he would have noticed. Karkata can't speak. And yet it cares about Abatui far more than it does about itself.
yeah.
What does that mean?
He is a life form. He is basically what he wanted to build. He just can't speak words.
You'll see in a bit. But before that, we have a more urgent task at hand. First, let's find the control unit for the ley line extractor and shut it down.
Ah, so up there. So I am going up here. Okay. Ah. Whoa! I fell from the floor. What's it like up there? Ah. Giant mess.
More of this transparent flooring. It feels like a maze.
Yeah. Oh, it branches off. Let's go the wrong path first. Oh no, it just went around in a circle. Okay. Follow the invisible road. Yeah, imagine if this was actually true. Well, this kind of path actually exists. Who would really want to walk on it? Everyone will be terrified. Wouldn't it? One wrong step. Whoa! Oh, as soon as I step off, then that... Then it ends. Whoa, bubbles! Attack of the bubbles! Yeah. Alright. Over here.
Below us is the final room. The control unit is likely in there.
The way ends here. Wanna try jumping down?
Alright. Geronimo! Whee! Wait, that didn't work. Oh. Go around. And down. was supposed to just jump down. I'm gonna have to go back like this. Alright. Slowly make my way down. And then we can turn off the machine. Well, actually we'll go here, but... Or is it I gotta jump down the center bit? Yeah, okay, I believe so. Which... Okay, basically I'm going up. Up I go. Wait, I'm not going up anymore. Okay, how? Oh! Alright, fine.
I'm not finished my research.
How the hell? Basically the amount of times I've died, everyone else has died by now. Okay, now I'm going down. Just before I didn't know where I was going. Whoa! Ah! No!
Incoming! Hey!
No! Stop it!
I will not.
No!
Quietly.
I hate you! Should've just left her. Should've just stayed with Barbara. That's healing.
Let's
Find
dance.
a way. This is gonna be a pain, isn't it? Ow.
Go, Barbara, go!
Stop it, stop it. What did I tell you? Did I just die and then basically come back? Wait, basically, am I doing it? Now, just keep going. See who came first, me or them?
Let the show begin.
Basically, I can just make them easily win. Basically, I am disrupting them both each time. Okay. How I got to full health?
Sister.
Yeah. Knew it was gonna happen sooner or later. Keep going.
Can't see. I hear everything. One with the forest. My tail's all messed up.
Okay, there's one down. Alright, fine. Tanara's gonna do it. You take these hits.
Enshroud!
There. Whoa. Really?
Flowers!
Okay, now I'm dead. Seriously, when did that other one show up? Seriously?
Keep up.
Ah.
Go, Barbara, go!
Okay, at least now everyone's alive. I can actually. Well, get everybody up.
Don't worry about me.
And this is stage 2 anyway. So I did the first part and then just moved back to the second part. Alright, everybody heal. Everyone should be fine at this point.
Ouchie!
Ow! No!
Speed of light!
Go! Murder him!
Incinerate!
Go! Murder!
Incoming! Motion to
Murder
compel!
is a way of life. Well, for less anyway.
Speed of light!
Ah, get away!
Incoming!
Go! There!
Scatter!
No! Stop it! Stop it, I said! Okay, got it. Now it's just you and me.
Hey!
Ah, throw a boat open.
Wrath of the flame! Incinerate! Nowhere to hide.
And keep it up.
Speed of light! Boom boom!
Okay, I've done it.
Incoming! Hey!
There.
This should be the control unit.
Okay, just 2 stages.
Once we turn it off, the ley line extractor should also shut down. Without an external force damaging the ley lines, they should start to slowly repair themselves. Oh, but I bet you two are more worried about Karkata. Let's head.
Yeah, kind of worried about him. Is he relying on that to keep himself alive? More. Just been doing that there. Let's go. Wants to prepare him. He doesn't prepare. Please. Sorry for him.
So, Karkata has been collecting parts because it thinks doing so will fix its owner?
Karkata is unable to understand the concept of death. However, it probably remembers when Abatui replaced its parts when it malfunctioned, and how that restored it to an operational state. It's true that Karkata isn't able to think or understand many topics, but it is like a small child that imitates what adults do.
So that's why it kept stealing mechanical parts. But it can't repair its owner, no matter how hard it tries.
Yes, but the important thing is that it formed the thought of wanting to repair Abatui. No one knows how this thought came to be, but it has even suppressed the instincts that Abatui had installed. If it really is as we've predicted, this research truly will make waves in the academia. It might have been possible to achieve this with ancient technology, but no one has been able to do the same with modern tools.
Karkata? Karkata? Can you hear Paimon? Tainari says you're awesome!
It reached its limit. It hasn't recharged this entire time, nor has it replaced its severely damaged parts. It's a miracle that it managed to hang on for so long. I'm going to confirm that the ley line extractor has shut down. Come with me. Let them be alone for a while.
Oh, come on, are you going to do the exact same thing as they did with Michiboru? Basically, he's gonna cease functioning while we're not here. You're gonna pull the same thing. Please don't. I liked him as a character.
The ley line extractor has ceased operations. Traces of ley line energy are still in the atmosphere, but the effluence's source has been stopped. The purification devices will handle the rest. Moving on, those affected by the ley lines need immediate care. We'll put up an announcement on the bulletin board about the dangers of entering the contaminated region, and for symptomatic individuals to find Kale. According to the Academia's policies, we need to bring everything back. Research materials related to mechanical life forms will be destroyed, and Karkata will be disassembled and sealed away.
No!
What the heck?
No, you can't do that.
You two should return first. I'll take care of things here. Although we've stopped the source of the effluence, the ley line energy in the air exceeds normal values. Your bodies won't be able to hold up if you continue to stay here.
But...
Listen, the Traveler hasn't rested very well, right? Also, it'll take some time to pack up all the research documents. You're not familiar with this research after all, so you won't be of much use here.
You don't know that.
Tell the Adventurers Guild that the incident has been resolved, and then get some sleep. We can discuss matters tomorrow.
But Kakata!
Oh, and don't talk about Abatui. The fewer that know about mechanical life form research, the better.
All right. Then let's go back to Catherine.
No! What's gonna happen to Kakata? Okay, now that's a downer completely. Seems like a real downer. And there's nothing else.
Why are you still here?
I don't want to leave.
I'll take care of this. Go and report to the Adventurers Guild, and then get some rest.
I should have come back to see Kakata one last time. I forgot. Sad ending. Real sad ending. Let's go see Catherine and tell her that it's all over. I'm still upset about it. I want to keep Kakata as my pet. Have him traveling around with me, helping me during battles. That would have been great. But then again, he will have to get repaired first. But still.
Anyway, so the contaminated region turned out to be a ley line effluence deep in the forest. Things are already getting back to normal.
I see. Thank you for your hard work. Once the excess ley line energy dissipates from the air, we should be able to make an announcement for residents to resume their normal activities. This is the stipulated reward. Please accept it.
Is Karkata going to be sent back to the academia?
Well, Tonari said he was going to be disassembled.
It's already damaged, but Paimon feels sad thinking about it getting disassembled.
Me too.
Oh, then how about we find Tainari tomorrow and ask him not to do that? Paimon really wants to go right now, but Tainari said that we would discuss matters tomorrow. We'll probably make him mad if we go now, huh? Alright then, we'll find Tainari tomorrow and tell him not to disassemble Karkata.
I don't know, I was expecting to say probably, and then we make our way to him. Okay, I'll go. It's at 8 o'clock tomorrow. More time skip. There.
Sometimes the law is compatible.
How are you feeling? Sleep well? We should go find Kainari. How do you think we should ask him?
So you asked me how well I slept when I was standing in this spot all night long.
To buy more.
Okay, where is Tanari? Ah, I haven't even been down there. So I gotta walk. I really should just go around, explore, and activate all these warp points. It'll make getting around a hell of a lot more easier. But I'll see what I do. Everyone get healed up first. Okay. Up and over. Okay, follow the road. And activate any warp points that I come across. Like this one down here. There you are. Trying to hide from me. Not gonna work. Up here.
I wish we'd recommend some people with
a greenhouse?
Keep your voice down. The lilac daphne, a daphne of the genus Thameliaceae, has a strong anticonvulsant effect, can be made into an anesthetic powder. Extrapolating from these two datasets, it would be particularly potent against Piscine species. Hey, make sure you're getting all this down.
What? We got no pen and paper. Oh! Katata! Kakata! He's still functioning!
Oh, I thought I told you all to keep your voices low. Plants aren't afraid of noise, but your shouting is making my ears ring.
Well, you have got big ears.
You didn't disassemble Karkata?
Why would I do that?
You said the Academia would when you report it.
But Paimon thought you said, according to the Academia's policies.
So that's why you two barged in like barbarians at this hour. Fine, I suppose I wasn't clear enough about this yesterday. What I meant was, according to the Academia's policies, all products of research must be destroyed. That's why we can't let the Academia discover that place. Anyway, the first thing I did was repair Karkata. During my time at the Academia, I took an elective course at the Spontama. Who knew it would prove useful one day? We then buried Abatui together. After organizing the research materials, I kept some as a souvenir. Most of it was burned to hide the evidence. I'm not with the Academia, so what do their policies have to do with me? On the other hand, I am the Forest Watcher of the Avidya Forest. I have a duty to protect all life in the forest.
And he is life in the forest. So, basically, my jurisdiction.
All life brought forth in this world has meaning, and Karkata is no exception. If it exists, then it shouldn't be carelessly abandoned or destroyed.
That's great! Wait, you just said life form. You recognize Karkata as a true living being now?
The possibility exists, is all. It's hard to explain Karkata's efforts to repair Abatui. Abatui only left behind a small portion of his research. Who knows how many commands he installed? Maybe a conflict between all those commands resulted in this sort of behavior. From a more rigorous perspective, it is impossible to conclude that Karkata is a real life form. But the possibility exists. I am willing to believe in that.
Good.
By the way, I'm not interested in continuing research on this subject. I'm just letting it hang out here because this place is relatively secluded.
And plus, they won't come here anyway, so he's fine.
But as things stand now, it wouldn't be a bad idea to make it my research assistant. At the very least, it can record my experiments. What do you think?
I'm useful, yay! Okay, now that was a good ending. I actually thought it was gonna go the bad way, as like Mitsuboru. But good to see that I didn't. Tanari, who's this? Hey? Who's in the photo with you? Hey, who's in the photo?
When people at the academia included me in a group photo, they would also send me a copy.
That's a group photo, it's a couple's photo. That.
I have zero interest in group photos, but I also wouldn't just throw them away. I stored them all in a box. After coming back yesterday, I looked through them and found one with Abatui. I gave it to Karkata, and it seemed happy.
Aww.
That's good enough.
Huh. And I like the fact that they actually took the time to actually put that image on there. Normally it would be a blank. It'll be blank. Then when you click on it, you get the image. Good to see that they did that. Huh. So, Kakata, got anything to say? Wait, let's have a look at his picture. Aww. He's acting all smug and happy. Oh, we don't have a response to it. But, yeah. After a brief... Well, I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Stuff starting but not starting, and basically just so many conclusions. Which I thought there would be more too. And then there wasn't.
Come on, enough
so
procrastinating. Let's go.
shut up, I'm talking. And after that, I just decided to do what I was going to do in the beginning, which was this. But yeah, now that it's done, everyone's happy, I'm happy, Tanari's quest is done, and I can move forward to doing more world quest stuff until the whole map is revealed. Or at least I might do it a little bit more afterwards. And maybe, because I know for a fact that this whole story is not over yet. There's still more to do in this whole Archon bit. It's the Archon quest. There's still more. but I don't know what. Because we basically gotta beat down the academia and find out who was behind the whole repeating the one day for multiple days. Who was behind that? What's evil in the academia? We need to find that out. But until something like that happens, we're not gonna know. So yeah. Bye.